Wow, wow, wow. Greetings to all of us this day, and I welcome all of us on this wonderful platform. Thank God so much for the gift of life and for coming your way this day. I bless His name so much, and I say to Him be all the glory. This day, I will be sharing with us on relationship, some toxic behaviors in relationships. After sitting under the leadership of servants of God that God has helped their lives, after receiving lessons, after listening to tapes, after reading books, after doing personal research, after talking with men who are happily married, women who are happily married, and people who are even currently in relationship, this thing grabs my heart, which I really love to share with you. And believe me, it is something that is going to help you. It is something that is going to change your mind. It is something that will reposition your thinking as far as relationship is concerned. I bless God so much for this privilege. And I say, wheresoever you are on the face of the earth, please feel free to share the video, feel free to share the link, and get ignorance out of somebody's life. I believe that by so doing, God will richly bless you. I believe that so very much. I believe that. At this particular time, we want to get into the heart of it. I wish to invite you to pull out your notebook and jot down something. Believe me, it is going to be so fantastic. You're going to love it. You're going to enjoy it because it is something that will transform your life. It is something that will reposition your thinking as far as relationship is concerned. Amen. So, I'll be talking with us on toxic behaviors in relationship, or some toxic behaviors in relationship, because we will not be able to touch all the toxic behaviors in relationship. We are just going to see few of them, which are so much, which is very critical for you to understand on this platform. Okay, toxic behaviors in relationship. These are actually actions, reactions, rejections. Toxic behaviors are actually actions, reactions, and rejection. And in other words, these are attitudes that are driven by previous exposures, experiences, education, and encounters, such that anybody and anything around this person who carries this toxic behavior gets wounded by interaction. I think I need to take that again so that you put it down. Toxic behaviors are actually actions, reactions, rejections. In other words, these are attitudes that are driven by previous exposures, experiences, educations, and encounters, such that anybody and anything around the person who carries this behavior get wounded by interaction. So the first toxic behavior that I want to share with us, which you need to watch out for, is what I call shaming. Shaming. Are you in a relationship with someone who shames you? You want to get married to someone, or you're married to someone who the person uses your looks, your failures, your weaknesses, your disadvantages to criticize you, to demean you and belittle you in private and also publicly. You are in a relationship with someone, or you are married to someone who the person uses your looks, your failures, your weaknesses, your disadvantages to criticize you, belittle you, and then demean you not only privately but also publicly. Shaming you. This person has a way of shaming you, either in a sarcastic way or in a very direct way. In public, let me take for example, in public, you want to speak, and then this person will quickly make a statement like, I'm sorry, my wife or my husband want to say something, he or she may find it difficult to express her thought, so let me speak on his behalf, let me speak on her behalf, shaming you publicly. You want to marry someone, you're married to someone, and you're shaming that person. You shame the mother of your children before your family members. You shame the father of your children before the kids. You shame your partner before your friends, and you make yourself so important. The question here is, how can you be that important when you're saying the person you are related to is a fool? How can you be that important when you are saying the person you are related to is a fool? How? The second toxic behavior in relationship that you need to watch out for is what I call ingratitude. Ingratitude. Always comparing you, or always comparing what you gave to another thing. Like, for example, someone will call you or someone will come to you and say, thank you for the money you gave to me. Thank you for the shoe you bought for me. Thank you for the glove. Thank you for the car. Thank you for the phone that you bought for me on my birthday as my birthday gift. I deeply appreciate it. Thank you so very much. But, a friend of mine just sent to me a picture of her own gift that her friend, just gave her something, stuff like that. Just comparing what you gave to her, what you gave to him, to another thing that was being given to another person. Ingratitude. Ingratitude. This is a toxic behavior in relationship that if you don't watch out for, it will kill your relationship and even your marriage. Ingratitude. Always comparing what was given to you to another thing. It is a toxic behavior that you need to watch out for. Another toxic behavior that you need to watch out for in your relationship and marriage is, is what I call irresponsibility. Irresponsibility. You always, let me use the word always, you're always avoiding responsibility. You always push blame. You don't want to be responsible for your irresponsibility. You always transfer blame to your partner. You always transfer blame to your husband, to your wife. You're a person that always accuses your partner for your actions and your reactions. I did this thing because you first of all, this thing happened like this. That's why I did it like this. Always transferring blame to the other person. Always avoiding your responsibility. Always. It is a toxic behavior in relationship, which you need to watch out for. Never accepting responsibility for your decision and indecision. Never, you don't care, you don't accept. Even when you yourself, you know that this thing like this is because of me, you still don't care. You still transfer blame. Another toxic behavior in relationship is what I call, is what I call inflexibility. Inflexibility. You are not flexible. You are inflexible. You are very rigid. As it was, so it is, and so shall it be. Okay? You are inflexible. You are still doing typewriting when the world has metamorphosed. When the world has changed, you are still doing typewriting. You are still doing shorthand even when there's voice to command, when there's voice to text. Okay? You are still analog in a digital era. Oh my God. You are still analog in a digital era. You are fixed. You don't move. In fact, you are fixated. Some of us, we are so braggadocious about it. You brag about it. You go around it, telling people how you are, just come on. Come on. As it was, so it is, and so shall it be. Inflexibility. It is one of those toxic behavior in relationship that does what? That is not good. And it can kill your relationship at any time. It can kill your marriage at any time. Inflexibility. Another toxic behavior that I want to share with us is what I call insensitivity. Insensitivity. You are not sensitive at all. You are not sensitive. There are some of us that we are very, very sensitive when it comes to the deflation of any of our car tires. We are sensitive when something happens with our phone. We are sensitive when something happens with the machine around us. We are so sensitive. But in relationship, in our marriage, we are insensitive. Insensitivity is one of those, toxic behavior in relationship. It is a toxic one, which you need to watch out for. It is so toxic. Okay? You are insensible about your partner. You are insensible. You don't care about your partner emotional needs. You don't care about your partner conversational need. You don't care about your partner physical need. You don't care about your partner, sexual need. We are living now in a time, I've come across Christians that if you are beside them and you happen to call sex, they regard you to be like an unbeliever. They regard you to be like an unbeliever. And they fail to educate their children in a house. Believe me or not, I want to tell you this. If you fail to educate your child as far as sex is concerned, the simple truth is, if that child happens to learn sex out there, the result is going to be negative in the house. You will love the result because he or she will learn sex in a negative way. Insensitivity is one of those toxic behavior in relationship. One thing for sure is God has said he does nothing without revealing it to his servant. But the truth is, you need to be sensitive before you understand what God is doing. If you are insensitive, everything will take you by surprise. God does nothing without revealing it to his servant. That is the Bible. Very correct. But at times, we wonder why things takes us unprepared. Why things are just surprising us? Because we are insensitive. We are insensitive. Please, I wish to share this story with us. It is a sad story. The year 2014, we went out for a crusade program. During the day, we were being shared in groups to share the word of God, to move around and preach the gospel. You know, in one of the group that I was there, we entered one compound and we noticed that there was a funeral program in that compound. And then we were trying to do some findings why the person died. It was the woman of the compound that died. And we were doing some finding. Long and short of it all, they told us that this woman was ill for 2-3 days. That she could not move out of the house herself. She needed someone to help her. And then the children were there. For 2-3 days. This woman has not been, she has not been doing things. She has not been able to walk. And the husband was there in the company. It was a polygamous home. And this man wasn't even staying with this woman. So this illness, it was a time that the children could no longer bear it. One day they ran to the father and they said that mom is lying and she cannot talk. The dad responded by saying, people should not bother. That's how she behaves at times. She will recover. To his greatest surprise, that during the evening, another youth reached him and they said that, Dad, as you can see, Mama is not breathing again. Mama is not breathing. It's like that's when the man came to his senses. The man said, what? Mama is not breathing? The guy had to, the man had to rush inside the room, and to his greatest surprise that the woman was dead. Why? The man was insensitive. That is what happens when you are insensitive. The result is always negative. Always negative. And one thing I've learned is that those who are always insensitive, they don't care to know. And even when they know, they don't even care to attend to. They don't even care to attend to. Please, if you want to succeed in your relationship, in your marriage, please be sensitive. Be sensitive. Okay? This is a toxic behavior in relationship. In marriage that kills a lot. But most people, or some people, don't know. Some people don't know. Another toxic behavior in relationship that I want to share with us is what I call criticism. Criticism. With this, you are always that person that you are critical about your partner character. You're a person that you always like, this thing like this, will it go well? You are looking for ways to criticize what is ongoing. Permit me to tell you that in your relationship, if you have criticism in you, there is no way that relationship is going to advance. There's no way you're going to succeed in your marriage. Those people who are around me, they know it so well. I don't love to associate with people who love criticism. Listen to my choice of word. Those who love criticism, I don't love to associate with them. Because one thing for sure is criticism always brings you down. Those who always criticize, they don't go far in life. They don't go far in life. They're always turning around. You're that person that you attack your partner personality. You attack your partner behavior, such stuffs like that. You always. Please, it is a toxic behavior in relationship. that does not propagate but rather kills. It kills. Another toxic behavior in relationship is what I call unfaithfulness. Unfaithfulness. Thank you so very much. Unfaithfulness is another toxic behavior that you need to watch out for. You are not dependable. You are not reliable. You are not trustworthy. You can't be trusted. Someone cannot leave you in a house and be out there for 2-3 days without being worried, if all will be well in the house. So long as the person is out of the house for a day, the person is worried, the person is praying to God that all should be well in the house. You are not dependable. You are not reliable. You are not trustworthy. Please, it is a toxic behavior in relationship. It is a toxic one. You want to marry, please let me tell you this. If you are in a relationship, you want to get married to someone, and that person happens to show a sign of unfaithfulness, please, I wish to tell you that it is high time you better be careful, because that person will not change, or that person will not be better except God changes that person. If you are in a relationship and the other partner is showing a sign of unfaithfulness, please, you should better be wise and careful, because that person will not get better tomorrow except God changes that person. And if I were you, this is my advice. If I were you, I will wait for God to change this person before I get married to this person. Because with all certainty, it is for sure that there is no guarantee that will guarantee you that after I get married to this person, the person will just change instantly. There is no guarantee. I've seen people who are lamenting today. In fact, lamenting because it started like this. Like, you come to your mom and you say, Mom, I've seen a guy, I want to marry this guy, I love this guy. And then your mom will say, but I heard that this guy happens to pick ladies. This guy punches ladies. And you say, no, Mom, he cannot do that to me. He loves me.